Hey folks, Jordan here from Michigan Gone Wild. It's fall here in northern Michigan, and that means a lot of things, but for me it means salmon. We're up here in the UP, we're fishing for pink salmon. Pink salmon are a great fish. They're a smaller species of salmon, but they're a lot of fun. They're great on the fly. They're really cool looking fish, and they're delicious smoked. So we're gonna see if we can get into some of them today. Let's get after it. Alright, first pink of the day. That's what we're out here targeting specifically, but we got into some kings and had a lot of fun. This is a decent average sized pink salmon. We'll get the hook out here and we'll take a look at him. Get a shot there. This one spawned out a little bit. You can see we're turning a little white on the belly, but not too bad. Now, like I said, this is a good average sized pink salmon. Pink salmon normally run 2 to 4 pounds, anywhere from about 14 to 20 inches. 20 inches would be a really nice one, really big one. This one's a little bit on the smaller side, but I'm going to go ahead and creel him because these guys are delicious smoked. That one's probably 14, maybe 15, but he'll be a good eater. Now, while I was unhooking that one, we had another king swim right between us here. Took off downstream from us. These guys are just all over the place. I'll tell you what, fishing the spawn's exciting because you're in close proximity to the fish the whole time. You know, it's one thing to be out on a lake and you hook them down 100 feet and you fight them, that's a blast. But I'll tell you what, when you're 5 feet away from a fish and you hook it and fight it and land it, it's an exciting time. It's an adrenaline rush. You can't buy happiness like that, man. Yeah. Nope. However, pinks and rainbow trout, the female pinks look almost identical to a rainbow trout. Real differences are, you can tell if you put them right next to each other, you can tell the difference. But especially if you see, like this one was with that other male that we caught, so you know it's the female, it's the hen. But yeah, they're commonly mistaken for rainbow trout. They look an awful lot alike. All right, here's another, it's a smaller one, but these are good eaters. This is the female that was actually sitting right next to the male I caught. They tend to stay in the same hole, which is very convenient for fishing. Makes it easy and a lot of fun. Again, this is probably, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 inches, but they're great smoke. very important in the streams with these bigger fish that you let them tire themselves out. You want to fight them. Be willing to walk up and down the stream. Be willing to walk through some rocks. Because you got to let them tire themselves out. Because if you go to net them and they still got some fight, they're going to take off. And if that happens, let them run. Keep fighting them. You don't want to horse these guys. That's a beautiful fish. Hope I can keep him going here. I think he's wearing out. Well, like I was saying, you got to tire him out. I went to try to net him. Wasn't quite tired enough yet. Took off on me, went right between my legs, wrapped up between my legs, and snapped the line right off. So that was a nice fish. It was a fun fight, even wore me out. But there's more, and we'll get after him.
Michigan, it's Michigan gone wild here in Michigan, where the back roads run for miles and miles with the will of a man and the heart of a child on Michigan gone wild.
All right, what I'm using today, what I've had the most success on is it's just a multicolored foam egg pattern. You know, these are good to use. They're very effective. The salmon go after them. And if you're into tying flies, they're great because if you got some downtime, they take about a minute or 2 minutes to tie. And you can do a whole season's worth of eggs in maybe a couple of evenings. But I throw on that egg, and up about 12 inches or so, maybe 13 inches, I put on just one split shot, lead-free split shot. And that kind of gets it down there where it's floating right in front of them, because while they do feed, they don't feed very actively, and you do need to get the egg right in front of them. So I tried a egg leach pattern for a little while, but it just, you know, with the water as shallow as it is and moving as fast as it just wasn't sinking the way I needed it to. So I'm going back to these. These work. Stick with what works. Go with what works. All right, we just switched back over to that multicolored egg. Probably about the third cast we hooked onto one. You know, it's an old standby, and I break my own rule all the time, but stick with what works. You know, if they're hitting on something, don't change up. It's always, you know, you always want to try new and different things, but if they're hitting on something, just let it go and use what's working. Yep, there's another one. All right, now this is a big male. This is maybe a couple of weeks ago would have been a nice fish. This is what these pinks look like when they start getting spawned out. They really just beat themselves to death on the rocks on the rapids. You know, and guys, if you're new to salmon fishing, just a word of warning: if you catch one like this, they don't taste too good. They're already starting to die. They just don't taste very good. So I just let them go, let them finish out their spawn, and let nature take its course. Okay, we had a great time out on the stream today. Got into some nice fish. You know, we were out here targeting pink salmon. This stream runs off of Lake Huron, and Lake Huron produces the best runs of pink salmon. But don't forget, when you're out there, there's some great opportunities for kings, Atlantics, cohos. You know, we hooked into the one king. I lost him, but man, it was a good fight. He wore me out. I wore him out. And, you know, he got the best of me in the end of it. But we had a great time. So, guys, grab your rods, get out, enjoy this salmon run. I'm Jordan Kettlewell with Michigan Gone Wild, and as always, stay wild.
Michigan, it's Michigan Gone Wild here in Michigan, where the back roads run for miles and miles with the will of a man and the heart of a child on Michigan Gone Wild. Michigan.